Now a comment to our elders and circuit overseers. What can you, brothers, do to help the young ones on the path to serving Jehovah full-time in Bethel and in theocratic construction? Well, are you encouraging Bethel servants? Are you helping the young ones to learn how to get involved in local projects with their local design construction department? School counselors are charting a path for our young ones in school. Shouldn't we be doing the same? But are there ones like that in your congregation, in your circuit, that may be just on the fence and would benefit from some encouragement? You can truly make a difference in how these young ones use their lives.
Yes, I actually represented Amelia, the woman that you saw in Jason's piece. She brought the first successful claim against the Jehovah's Witnesses for child sexual abuse in the UK, and that was back in 2015. And although 10 might seem like maybe a small number of cases, that reflects the difficulty that victims have in coming forward, particularly those in the Jehovah's Witness organization, because of the two-witness rule and various other factors.
So how were you able to find 9 others, or how did they find you?
They do have quite a network of a good support network amongst ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. And in fact, off the back of reporting on the judgment in Amelia's case, the other victim that you heard from, Emily, who was actually abused previously by the same person, got in touch. And so it has really been through media and reporting that people have gotten in touch. I think it's important to point out that those people who have gotten in touch have left the organization. And honestly, mostly there's a lot more victims, I believe, within the organization who have not come forward for a variety of reasons. One of them being that the religion practices shunning. So if you decide to leave the organization, then you will be shunned by everybody that you know, including your immediate family members. So that's obviously additionally a big barrier to victims coming forward, which I don't think was particularly well highlighted by the inquiry's report.
So when you were going through what happened to these victims, were you surprised by what you were hearing?
I would say I was horrified. Particularly, all child sexual abuse is horrific, and you would be horrified by any of it. But I think particularly in the Jehovah's Witness cases, what's so horrifying is that time and time again, I've seen a situation where they are aware of the fact that there is an abuser in their congregation and nothing is done about it. And that means that that abuser goes on to assault many, many more victims. And it's really tragic and horrifying to see a situation where you know a child could have been saved. And because they took no steps to safeguard children, there are more and more victims whose lives are changed and ruined forever.
Let's talk about this report now. You did mention it. Reading that is horrific, but one would assume that what you've already dealt with these victims, you wouldn't be totally shocked by what you were reading in this report.
No, I'm not shocked at all. I'm really pleased that the inquiry did decide to look at abuse in religious organizations and settings, and particularly include the Jehovah's Witnesses in that, which was something that I was pushing for a long time. I think that this is a huge area that the report highlights, that there is really no oversight of religious organizations in terms of child safeguarding. There's things that they should do and are meant to be doing, but they're not required by law to be doing. And this is an area that we really need to look at very carefully in order to safeguard children and vulnerable people.
Okay. They made some recommendations too, really, that organizations should have a child protection policy and supporting procedures. One is just amazed that in 2021 they don't, and that the government should legislate to amend the definition of full-time education to bring any setting that is a pupil's primary place of education within the scope of a registered school. Briefly, what do you make of those 2 recommendations?
I think they're helpful, but I think the thing to remember in the context of Jehovah's Witnesses, which you'll see throughout the evidence that they presented to the inquiry and in the inquiry's report as well, is that they insist that they don't separate children from their parents, and therefore there's no need for them to adhere to any of these policies and procedures. The truth of the matter is, in practice, that's not true. Children are often separated from their parents, and there needs to be other ways to bring this organization in line with current child safeguarding policies.
There are exciting opportunities for our beautiful young people. So, young ones, what will you do? You can now apply for Bethel and construction service at age 18. You can apply for the School for Kingdom Evangelizers at age 21. Put yourself in Jehovah's hands. Make yourself available. You will never regret it.